Lacey Jarvis was our interview that happened. The first one was 126. When you do the arithmetic on that, that's well over 50 plus ago. And she was a level 3 back in those days, and now she's a level 4A. She's 28, then now 29. So look, in a year, she goes from 3 to 4 to 4A. So she's cooking there. Look at the average ticket goes from 73 to 94. Referrals now, we're running at 13. They're hanging out at 18 a month. Rebooks from 45 to 50. She's always been a killer on RTS. 49, now she's cooking at 50, and you can see her trend. Every year she continues to increase her income as well. She is doing some absolutely, I think, some really state-of-the-art things on social media. The essence of genius is simplicity, and she's doing some things on her VIP page. Then she didn't have a VIP page on the last interview. She's going to be talking about that, and which is a private page, not only for her guests, but the people that follow her guests. And she's built that into a nice little. She's got 137 members there. When I'm going to show you some examples of what she's doing when she's talking, it's mind blowing. She's also doing some really cool stuff on Instagram with her highlights and to some videos that she's doing of her work. So I got her back there to start sharing with us. So I'm going to go back in our green room now. I'm going to go get her, and then get her talking about this. So what do you guys think? So let's see if we can find her. Make sure that the Wi-Fi gods are being nice to us today, and she's right. Oh, there she is, you guys.
Hi.
Hi, Lacey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well, my friend. I've just been looking so forward to having you back on the Encore. As you know, you're on my news feed. I just see what you're doing every day. I'm even bragging on you now when I'm out doing seminars. I think you probably can see it. Sometimes I'll bring people live to your page because they don't believe me when I tell them the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, I definitely have. I've heard that before. So thank you.
And I'm going to tell people that if they haven't watched interview 126, where we talk about your story and your history, to do that. That was 126. Can you believe that? We're already you're at 181 to now, and how far you've grown since then. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, it has. For
All right. Well, I went to your VIP page. It's Lacey VIPs, and this one's your Instagram, and it's a private group. Got 137 members in it. Talk about what that is, what inspired it, and what you're doing, and how this is changing your business.
Yeah, so basically what the VIP page is, all of my current or past, maybe they haven't seen me in a couple of months, but all of my clients are on that. So I update it. I try to update it weekly to make sure that all of my new guests are on there. But basically it's where my clients will get first dibs on any openings that I have, any sales that are going on with products or services, things like that. I also go live in it sometimes when we do get new stuff, or for any tips and tricks, things like that. So I got the inspiration from Kayla Ray. Actually, she is the coach for some of the educators at the salon, and I overheard her talking to one about a VIP page. So hers is a little different from mine. Mine's just strictly my guests, but that's where the idea.
Yeah, and I'm actually scrolling your page as you're talking about it. You did a post. It looks like a Friday you do a post, and it said, now who's Rachel Creeman's Herald? Is that one of your clients?
Yeah, so basically I wanted that page to be another way that my clients could contact me, since when I am at the salon, I'm extremely busy and I don't always have time to chat on the phone with them. So that is another way for them to communicate with me.
Oh, wow. So they can post on your page.
Yes, yeah,
So you just did one on the 21st. It looks like it was a little bit of a Halloween thing, and all you did is
yes,
and you put your openings Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and
yes,
Deborah says I want the 10 a.m. and then you always
yeah,
comment you can have it. Rachel says, is the one still open? Yeah. Oh no, you said sorry, it's not, and then you kind of helped her to book. So your guests engage in this page, and that it looks like that this page alone fills in a lot of your available openings, your windows.
yeah. So it's a very interactive page. I say probably 90% of my open appointment schedules are filled just by that. There's sometimes that, because I typically like to post my openings for the week on Sunday, and I will post it in that group. And sometimes I don't even have any more available to the public after I post in that page because, they've
So
taken
you'll
them
get,
really
yeah.
full.
So you'll post in that page, and all of a sudden your windows of time or your open inventory gets filled.
Yes,
And
yep.
then I'm looking at, you did a little thing, and I was actually in a class when you were doing this on the 7th. You went live, and it looks like you're kind of promoting something. You've merchandised something. I don't know if it's a retail promotion or whatever, but you got a boatload of engagement on that.
Yeah, that was my self-proclaimed HGTV moment there, coming to real life. So we had just gotten some stuff in for the holidays from our skincare line, and I went live just explaining everything that was on there.
And then, I mean, you really changed it up. Like this one is you've got a screen grab of your October calendar, and you
Yeah,
can actually see things that were available that are not available. You scratch them out, and then you kind of said this was what's left. You had 21 comments
yeah,
on that, so you looks like you filled a lot of windows of time.
yeah. I filled most of them with that post. So that's really simple. Actually, I just grabbed a picture off of Pinterest of a blank October like calendar template, and then using tools like just from my iPhone, I was able to scratch those days and times out. But that's something that the younger girls at my salon are doing right now. So I rely on them a lot to keep up with how people are engaging with specific pictures. And that was one that they all got big hits on. So, and it proved to be true.
And I just interview somebody that's in school that's going to be your associate here pretty quick because she was talking about you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
Malia, yeah. How many hours does she have left? I think she was on like the front end of her ride, wasn't she?
She graduates early December. I think December 11th or 12th. So we're doing some stuff now to make sure she's ready when she comes in, ready to rock.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
Now, you have 137 members here, and one of the unique features here is you invite your guests to be a member, but you also have a way where you allow whoever's following your guest to be a member on the page. Like, how's that work? Do they just kind of put in a request and you grant them entry?
Actually, no. So that's only my clients. Only my clients are on that page strictly. And once they have one appointment with me, then they can be on that page. But
I see. So this is purely for
purely
your
because
clients.
that's the VIP part of it is
So,
that they have first access to everything.
I love
And
this.
yeah, and so what I do is with new clients when they're in the treatment room, I make sure that we become friends on Facebook before they leave, and that because I tell them I'm going to add them to that group. So that way I make sure I have almost 100% of my clients following me on social
As
media.
you're thinking through this, it really makes your guests feel special because it's first of all it's a very small community. To
Yes,
be a member of the community, you're my guest. No other people in the can be part of the community. You're going to get things from me before anybody else does. You're going to be
right.
have first first options, and that's why you call it VIP. So it's very specific. You know what it's for, you know what it's not for. So in any given week, and I didn't ask you this before, but you got me curious, Lacey. Any given week, how many openings would you say on a typical week from something that you're posting on VIP would you fill? Is it 2 a week, 3 a week, 5 a week? Like, what's that? How's that work?
I would say probably between 2 and 5 a
Okay.
week, I feel.
So let's just say on a typical week, it's 3 appointments.
Yeah.
And your average.
And that would be low, I guess. That would be kind of low. But yeah.
So give me, if it's not 3, 4 or 5?
So what I do too is as people cancel, I will post it too.
Yes.
And so those typically fill. So I mean, I would say probably 5 to 7 would be a good estimate. They keep me busy.
Well, as I'm inquiring, it's interesting because you're saying, look, I do a standard post once a week, but anytime I have a 12th hour cancellation or whatever the unexpected random event is, I'll post, and many times that will save me. So when I add them all up, that's probably looking closer to 5 to 7 a week.
Right.
So, well, I've already done the math in my head. Your average ticket is just this side of $100.
Yeah.
So what I hear you telling me is on a typical week, this page, this post, your post could be responsible for anywhere between $500, $600 a week. You start looking at over a period of 48, 50 weeks, and I've got you at just somewhere around $30,000 in business that wouldn't be there.
Easily.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then that's not even including your gratuity.
Right.
On that. So there's probably, there's a few $1,000s here. So this is a this has become a very important part of your kind of daily modum of operandi.
Kind of a lifeline, honestly. And, it also just enhances the guest experience, which is what we're all about at ClipZone. And they feel important. They are important. And that's just another way for me to let them know, hey, I appreciate you. Here's first dibs at anything and everything that I have.
I'm loving this interview. So how many people of your working peers have been watching this, and how many people, first of all, how many service providers are in ClipZone Salon Spa right now? You got about 20 people there, 20 service providers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many of them do you think are on that actually have a kind of a private group just for their guests? Is it you and a couple of other people?
Yeah, I would say a couple of them. It's something that we've talked about, but, having to put the legwork into it, it takes a minute to start it up. You have to devote a couple hours to sitting down and going through your entire friends list and adding every single one of your clients. But it is, and this is what I tell the girls all the time, well worth the time that you put into it, because it delivers.
Well,
for sure.
The more I inquire, the more you say. You're saying, so once upon a time, you went through your friend list, either on your Facebook page or your follower list on your Instagram page, to see if you could sort out or curate your guests and then get them on that page. Do you invite them and then they accept the invitation, or can you just put them on regardless?
They have to accept the invitation for it.
Yeah,
so.
I would imagine most of them do. I mean, they would see it as a Benny.
Definitely. So a lot of my clients are nurses and who don't know their schedules weekly. So they depend on being a part of that page and depending on those weekly and oftentimes daily posts to be able to come in.
Do you know a Brandy Lane Keir?
Yeah.
She's saying that she's watching now. And she said this is an amazing interview. So you're giving her perspective. Apparently you're doing things that she wasn't aware that you were doing and getting the results. So it's just it's amazing. And I want to thank you for inviting me to be a member, because I get to watch all of the posts and sometimes I'll actually I'll say something to you on that. And so and then I actually take people to your page when I'm doing Anatomy of Awesomes around the country so that they can actually see your page live.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to be a part of it and wants to see, I can't, guarantee that I can do everybody, but I'm more than willing to share this wealth of knowledge with everyone because it has worked so well
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
what I'll just have them do is they can direct message you or
Yeah.
private message you on Facebook or Instagram, then you can take it from there. All right, now, the other thing I want to get you talking about is, and it's actually why I reached out to you because somewhere on my news feed you were talking about. I actually put a feeder out if you're doing virtual consultations and you're getting any kind of juice on it, let me know. And you were one of the first to respond, and that's kind of
Mhm.
what inspired this interview. What are you doing? How are you using the idea of virtual consultations?
So I have through my posts and tags a lot of people that I'm sorry hashtags a lot of people that will come to me through Instagram or through Facebook that I've never met before. And since we have the associate program now and our service times are shortened a little bit, I was trying to think of a way that I can enhance the consultation without taking that 15 to 20 minutes at the beginning of the service to do so. So what I do is when they say they want to make an appointment, I'll just say, "Hey, I want to make sure that we're going to accomplish any skincare concern that you have. Let's do like a quick 5 minute. We video over Instagram or FaceTime, or sometimes they want to just go through phones or whatever. But yeah, it's just like 5-10 minutes, and we go through everything from what their concerns are to their budgets, what they're using at home. Obviously, it can't be as thorough because I'm not seeing their skin in person. But I can kind of connect all the dots from what they said during that FaceTime consultation to when they're actually
Oh my
laying
God,
in
it's
my
like an
treatment room.
OMG on steroids because what I hear you saying is it's the consultation before the consultation, right?
Yeah, it gets all the hard, long questions out of the
Yes,
way.
and it's the greeting before the greeting,
Yeah,
right? It's almost like a digital touch point. You're kind of greasing the wheels, on ramping the experience,
right.
before it's real time, so that when they come in, it's like you're standing on the shoulders of what you created before they came in. What and because this is new and unprecedented, what kind of feedback or comments are you getting from? And it sounds like it's something for new guests coming in, your first timers. What are they saying about that particular part of the experience?
So it's not just limited to new guests or first timers. Even if they are a new client of mine and they want to try a new service too, we can kind of chit chat about it before they come in, going over the same thing. Yeah. But everybody has really liked it. I have pre-booked every single person that I've done a FaceTime consult with. I went ahead and booked them on my schedule, and they've come in. They just sometimes, it can get kind of busy back here in the spot, and I want to make sure that the experience is as personal as possible, and that kind of allows me to do that even when they're not physically here.
How
So,
long have you been kind of playing with and incubating the idea of virtual consultations? Like you've been doing that 3 months, 2 months, a month, 6 months, like how long?
well, our owner Nicole, it was something that she talked to us about a while ago. I would say over a year ago, and I did a couple when she first mentioned that to us. Then I kind of got away from it. But I would say over the past probably 4 months or so, it's something I've really gotten back into, and it's something that's worked really well.
So on a typical week, how many virtual consults might you do?
4, I would say on
Okay,
average.
so
Yeah.
I do the math on that. You're doing like, 20, 15, 20, 25 a month. And then
Right.
what you're saying is from that, they will book to come in to see you.
Yeah, because we have booking capabilities from our phones. So as soon as I hang up with them, we're messaging each other to figure out availability and scheduling them from there.
So this is so now it's like this has become just like your VIP page, this is the second newest, I'm going to call it digital branding and marketing piece that now has become part of your bedside manner, if you will, or your chairside manner.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. You can just stop for 5 minutes wherever you are doing what you're doing, just to have the consultation, and it makes everybody's life much easier come treatment time.
And when and I would imagine that because you've got the bond going with your first time new guests, that you're not getting no shows. They're excited when once they book, they're going to come in.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Now, some people try to guarantee the appointment. Do you do that, or do you just let it go on faith and you're finding that it works?
Guaranteeing by putting a deposit down,
yes.
Is that what you mean? Yeah, we don't do that. It's just by good faith.
Nice.
And so far it's not let me down.
Well, I think there's a bond that happens in the virtual consultation. There's integrity. People, you've raised the probability that people are a lot more certain. They're not second guessing you or themselves. So right now, I think virtual consultations are on the very, very beginning of the curve where they're really unprecedented. They're supreme exceptions to the rule. But as you're innovating this and you're one of the pioneers, I see this as a new normal, probably 6 months from now. If you're not doing this, you're just not going to be doing nearly as well than if you are.
Yeah, definitely. So even though it's a complimentary consultation, I've had feedback where they've said it adds more value to the treatment, and so
nice.
It's awesome to hear that.
Well, as you were talking, I'm on your Instagram page, and I want to just, while I have you on live with me, I wanted to get you talking about, you're doing some really edgy, state-of-the-art, on the cusp work with highlights. You're showing you're showing your procedures, and what inspired you to do that?
People react more to videos. People will stop when they scroll and see a video, especially when it's on your story on Instagram. So that the highlights are just a really good way to capture. Most of them are videos and just kind of store them there. Also, it's kind of like a library. It's like a virtual library for clients when we're going through our our FaceTime consultations. I can say, hey, check out this reel. This highlight reel, that is a very similar service to what you're going to be experiencing. So it kind of just, once again, adds more.
So what you're saying is you will actually, when you're doing a virtual consultation, you will refer someone that you're consulting with virtually to get on your Instagram page and go to a specific highlight to really experience that.
Right.
And then, as I'm looking, you've got one for brows, and then you've got one that's just as comprehensive for your facials as well. And you're
the dermaplaning,
Yep. And so you're microblading, dermaplaning, and it's like you're bringing the world into your operating room.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, kind of.
And then, the other thing I asked you about was what is this particular service? It looks like it's a mask.
Yeah, so that's an add-on to our facials. So those are hydrogel masks. There's several different kinds of them, each of them doing something different. And we customize them to the client's skin. And we just add them on top of a mask, and they absolutely love it. Absolutely love the hydrogel mask.
Is this one, this is a micro, what are you doing here? This is a newer service.
Okay, that is dermaplaning. So that is one of my clients that's on my VIP page that's been with me for a long time. And we are doing it's called a Clip-Zone Signature facial with a dermaplane and a hydrogel mask.
I love this because there's a lot of estheticians that I'll meet in my class that their narrative is, well, unfortunately, Instagram doesn't work for estheticians. And I'm going, well, I don't know. I bring them to your page and it blows their mind.
So it is hard to sometimes make that connection. I totally understand where they're coming from, but it's not impossible. And you just have to, what I do actually that's helped me a lot. So on Instagram, if they can follow the hashtag esthetician, there's so many people all over the world being so creative with how they're showcasing their treatments. And that's how I know a lot of the girls get a lot of their ideas. But yeah, it's not impossible. It might take a little bit of a, it's harder work, but
yeah. And now what I'm doing is I'm showing a video that you posted in your grids, but it's also you have your own IGTV channel.
I'm working on it. It's not a very big library, but it's there.
Listen, I mean, you've got but what you're doing is you're posting on your grids, and then a lot of those videos that you're posting on the grids, I can see the Instagram IGTV. Some of them are videos only, and then some of them are taking them right to your Instagram channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this has been just an extraordinary interview, Lacey. Now, I'm just guided to end it by asking you, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're like a 15 or a 20 in terms of how innovative you are. There's a lot of people that are still they're not even in the social media shallow end of the pool yet, and they're intimidated by this, and you're evolving your work almost on a daily basis. What might you say to them to give them the inspiration, the motivation to get into the game? Why, in your opinion, should this matter to them, and they would be willing to go through the learning curve to make this a part of their craft?
Well, first of all, every esthetician, every stylist has something unique about what they do and why they do it. And so videos are a way to showcase that. We do a lot of really different things here at Clipsome than what a lot of spas are doing. But if you don't get that out there, nobody's going to know that you do it. And that, I mean, it's just as simple as that. It's literally just letting people know. And right now, people are more engaged in videos than anything else. It's super scary, and we all hate to hear our own voices sometimes, but just keep doing it. You might fumble through it a few times, but you'll eventually get really comfortable with it. So just keep going, keep doing it.
Yeah.
You're capable of more than you allow yourself.
If you look at videography or photography as you do your craft that you went to school for, whether it's esthetician work, hairdresser, once upon a time you were uncomfortable doing facials. Once upon a time, somebody's uncomfortable cutting hair or coloring hair. But after you engage in that a little while, it's no longer an issue. It becomes second nature. And now videography, photography has become, you now have 3 skill sets. And it really has taken you to a whole new level of relevancy. But I would imagine if there are other estheticians that aren't doing this, as more people like you are doing it, traditional estheticians are going to begin to look less relevant, less modern, more of kind of like the old fashioned.
Yeah, I'm 29. I've been an esthetician for 10 years. So the world is a lot different now than what it was when I first got into the game. And that's why I'm saying follow these hashtags on Instagram, see what these newer estheticians are doing, so that, I mean, the one thing that, a traditional or an experienced esthetician has over them is just that experience. So show them your knowledge and show them why you've been doing it for so long. You're not irrelevant. You just have to figure it out.
Right. And you said, you just said hashtag esthetician, right? And then that'll take you to, or did you use another word?
No. So 2 of the hashtags I follow are hashtag esthetician and hashtag licensed esthetician. You'll see a lot of videos posted on there, but more importantly, you'll see a lot of like new products that you know, can keep up with and things like that to, just like you said, stay relevant.
Right.
So,
Now, as you're talking to me, I'm actually hashtagging licensed estheticians. Yes?
yes.
And that'll take me to something I must say, LICENSE, is it ESTICIAN? Am I getting that right?
ESTHITICIAN. If you go to one of my pictures, you can click on the hashtag.
All right. So I'm gonna do that now because this is really worth the so any one of your pictures I can click a hashtag and it'll take me there, huh?
Yes.
All right, I'm just it's worth doing this. So give me a second. Oh, there it is, licensed esthetician. There it is. Okay, good. So now I clicked on your hashtag and I'm on licensed esthetician page. And you're saying these are the places that you go to get inspiration for what's next for you.
Yeah, definitely. Just to, you know, keep up with what everybody's doing. And that's where I see a lot of new products that I'm going to use and bring into the spa as well.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of knowledge there. I mean, you want to follow your industry.
and it looks like you're posting that you'll tag that page and I can see some of you. Does your work show up on there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm loving this. All right, we're running way over, but I wanted to run way over because this is going to be up. I'm going to call Guinness Book of World Records once I get you off here because this was the best tutorial that we've done for encoring, especially with an esthetician. And you're really doing some state-of-the-art, extreme, innovative ways of using social media, both on Instagram and Facebook, to blow up your business. So thank you very much for hanging out with us,
Thank
Lacey.
you. It's so nice to talk
All
to
right,
you.
and well, we talk to each other almost every day on our news feed. So I'm going to let you get back to work and say hi to all my homies at Clipzone, will ya?
I sure will.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Lacey Jarvis. Said hi. All right, say well, my friend. You guys, that was like unbelievable. What the little ride? Did you see that digital field trip that she took us on? It was just it was nothing short of amazing. We went to her guest VIP Facebook page with 138. Oh, you have to be her guest, and she's filling 5 to 7 windows of time a week at $100 a window. That's somewhere between 500 to 700. I mean, if you do the arithmetic on this, you guys, that's like $25,000 to $35,000 in openings that would not be filled without that. That was worth it in and of itself. And then she talked about her virtual consultations and how she's now doing, I think she said 4 or 5 of those a week. All of them are rebooking. None of them are canceling. And she's using in her virtual consultations, actually referring people to her Instagram page, whether then it's watching one of her many highlights on whatever she's consulting about, microblading or specialized facials. So it's working for her very, very well in how she's doing that. So the combination of VIP page, using her grids on Instagram and her highlights, using Instagram TV as her tutorial television channel. It's like she's becoming now the esthetician learning channel for clients. And she even brought us where she goes for inspiration. So you guys, this was a killer interview. I'm going to save this one, and we're going to edit it down to a micro learning because this in and of itself could be a series of, she probably gave us, I don't know, 4 or 5 webinars inside of a 30-minute window of time. So give it up for her one more time. I'm going to let you all go now. We're going to be back tomorrow morning for interview 182 with Jennifer Boutwell. She's going to do a whole class for us on blogging, on website, and how that's going to that's driving up her ratings on Google. So don't miss that one. If you're new to us, you should be, if you haven't already, save this page, follow this page, Michael Cole Summit on Facebook, Michael Cole Summit on Instagram, because both of those platforms now have become learning channels for people like you that are always looking for new and innovative ways of using social media, the internet, to make money. It's the latest, greatest, and people like you that are using the internet, trust me when I tell you, are growing way better, faster than they're not. All of our interviews are cooked down to a micro learning of 4, 5, 6 minutes, and then placed on the my Instagram TV channel on Michael Cole Summit on Facebook. So do the not Facebook, Instagram, the Instagram channel on Michael Cole Summit on Instagram. You want to hang out on our website, because there's just some really cool tools that we use, and we talk about calculators, we talk about trackers there as well. You can schedule a 1-hour free social digital consultation, so that we can tell you what are the other things we have going online, and so that most of our services now are digital services, educational services online. We even have our own Netflix TV channel called Summit Salon, SummitSalon365.com, where you can go and watch a series of video courses for a nominal fee as well. And then, I do some philanthropic work, and you can see people like I call them the tatties, MC tatties. I don't wear tats on my body, but I wear tats on my shirts. And so if this is interesting to you, go to mctattees.com, and you'll just see kind of a whole plethora of different symbols that we have. If you should choose to participate, all of the proceeds that I earn go to the philanthropic causes that myself and my wife Mary are on, with literacy for elementary children, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. So take us up on that. And then last but not least, I always like to end by expressing gratitude for our sponsors, L'Oreal, PPD, Summit Salon Business Center, Salon Centric, RDA, and State Beauty Supply. And these are all of their brands. Use all of their brands. I love their beautiful brands, from Redken Purology, Pulp Rite is our newest family member, Baxter, BioLife, Mazzani, Matrix, Essie, Kerastase, Shoe, L'Oreal Professional. They're all wonderful people. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.